everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here today, my name is Mystique and welcome to the magic, oh I'm not the magical rainbow Becca, and welcome to my channel. So you might be wondering, what on earth is a vagus nerve? Well, your vagus nerve is essentially a group of nerves that are spanning down along your back. And these nerves are in charge of your fight or flight responses. There are 4 different fight or flight responses. There's obviously fight or flight, but there's also fawn and freeze. So a reason why the nervous system might need healing is from when the body is kept in a prolonged fight or flight response. So this can be from constantly being in stress, or living in an unsafe environment while growing up, living in a traumatic environment while growing up. But any kind of environment that keeps your fight or flight triggered for a prolonged period of time is gonna make it so that the body forgets how to come out of fight or flight. So what I mean is, when the body is kept in fight or flight for a long period of time, the body forgets how to bring itself out of fight or flight. And when fight or flight is triggered for a long time, it essentially can lead to vagal shutdown. And that is essentially when the body is so exhausted from constantly being in fight or flight. And this is the state when you really need to be healing your vagus nerve. And how you go about healing your vagus nerve is by developing a better vagal tone of your vagus nerve. So when a person has a good vagal tone, it means their body knows how to come out of fight or flight on its own. But if a person has a very poor vagal tone, their body won't know how to come out of fight or flight. Healing your vagus nerve has to deal with bettering the vagal tone of your vagus nerve. Also, having your body in vagal shutdown can lead to having hormone imbalances. And this is all because your body is so stressed that it's constantly pumping out cortisol. And if it's constantly pumping out cortisol, then that means your hormones are completely out of whack. You're not supposed to be pumping cortisol all the time. Your body is supposed to, it's supposed to have a break from cortisol. It's actually not even supposed to pump cortisol very much at all. But if you're in a constant state of fight or flight, you're gonna constantly be pumping that cortisol, and that's what's gonna be giving you hormone imbalances. So the reason why my vagus nerve is completely shot, basically, is that I grew up in an environment where I wasn't allowed to be me. So I didn't feel safe to be me. I wasn't accepted to be myself. I grew up in an environment where I felt unsafe to be myself, and since I was constantly in a state of feeling unsafe, and also the fact that my stepdad often yelled at me, it put me into a place where I was constantly in fight or flight. Because I was in a state of fight or flight for around 7 to 8 years, my body forgot how to come out of fight or flight. So my body constantly stayed in fight or flight. And so that's the way my body stayed until today, basically. And nowadays I am trying to teach my body how to come out of fight or flight. And because my body has been in fight or flight for basically the past 20 years, it has not been easy. It is not happening overnight. It sometimes is actually very frustrating. Sometimes I don't see progress at all, and then sometimes I do. And that's basically the journey of healing for you. Sometimes you don't see progress, and sometimes you do. The first one is vagus nerve exercises. So I actually have a video already talking about a few vagus nerve exercises. I might redo it because I don't know if I really like the quality of it, but yeah. I will post that here. I will also post the lady who I got this information from. Her name is Suki Baxter, and she is so good at talking about this kind of stuff. So much better than I am. A bunch of these exercises I learned from her YouTube channel, so I definitely recommend you going and checking out her channel if you're in a place where you need to heal your vagus nerve. Personally, my favorite ones that I've been using has been the heart tapping method, and that's where you cross your hands and you tap a couple times. Or I also really like the ear circles. And then I also really like the one where you have to like stare at the ceiling for a period of time. That one really calms me down. But yeah, it's crazy how just these little exercises stimulate to the brain that it's safe for you to calm down. You'll know when your body is calming down by if you're starting to take heavier breaths, if you're also needing to swallow. That's a sign that your vagus nerve is starting to calm itself down. The next thing that I do is EFT. That stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. So essentially what that is just you're tapping all over your face and your chest on various, I think it's meridian points that stimulate soothing to the body. And you also can do this as like a way to program your subconscious mind with new beliefs. EFTs are actually pretty powerful and effective. It's actually quite shocking how much they work. I definitely recommend trying them out. You can basically look them up on YouTube for any kind of topic that you're trying to program within your mind. Let me tell you, it's probably out there. Say you want to program your mind to think a lot more positively. Well, you're definitely going to be able to find at least a couple of EFTs out there are for programming your mind to be more optimistic. So, as I said, there's topics on anything you can possibly imagine under the rainbow. The next thing that I have been doing is reading. So recently, I have started reading a lot of freaking books. I basically read like a 300-page book within like 2 or 3 days. Right now, I'm in this phase of my life where I am absolutely obsessed with reading. I used to read a lot when I was younger, but since I've been trying to heal my vagus nerve, I'm trying to not be on electronics so much because they are very stimulating to the vagus nerve, and that is the last thing the vagus nerve needs when it's overstimulated. So the last thing the vagus nerve needs is to be stimulated when it's overstimulated. The opposite of stimulating it is doing things that kind of bring you to the now moment. And so that can be anything really. For me, yeah, as I said, I have been reading up a storm. When you are doing things that are bringing you to the now moment, it is bringing you to a space where everything's slower. When you're in a slower pace, the vagus nerve is going to feel more safe to calm down because it doesn't feel like it is needing to be fast. So as I said, for me, I have been reading, but you also can do painting, you can do drawing, you can do writing. I want to start writing again sometime soon in the future, hopefully. Perhaps if I get over my resistance. So yeah, basically like anything like that is going to really help you calm down your vagus nerve a lot. This one is kind of pairing with another one that I just kind of thought of, is that try to stay away from technology as much as possible. Anything where you like, especially scrolling. TikTok is probably like the worst culprit for being stimulating, and that's just not going to be very healing towards your vagus nerve. I'm not saying don't ever go on TikTok ever again, but like, you know, just like pace yourself. I know that it's so easy to lose 2 hours on TikTok because you're scrolling. Just try to limit your electronic use and try to be in the now moment as much as possible. Another one is journaling. Journaling, honestly, I love journaling so much. Journaling is so overlooked. I will always say that because it is, and I even do it. I even overlook journaling. Sometimes I'm like, I don't need to journal about that. And then when I finally am like, okay, fine, I'll journal about it. It turns out that I originally, when I thought that I didn't need to journal, I was wrong. I was very, very, very wrong. Journaling is amazing because it has a mirroring effect. And because you're writing your thoughts, your feelings, all of that down, it's gonna be mirroring towards what you're writing, and it's gonna be validating towards what you're writing. It's a way to validate yourself, essentially. Why this is fantastic is because it creates a sense of safety within yourself. So when you feel validated, you're gonna feel safe, and this is gonna be a great place for you to calm your vagus nerve, because feeling safe is what the vagus nerve needs in order to calm itself down. And the last one is not checking your phone when you wake up. And I am struggling with this one really hard because I have made it a habit. My brain literally like craves my phone when I wake up. I have actually taken notice that I do feel different in the mornings if I start my morning with doing vagus nerve exercises instead of looking at my phone. I'll feel so much more calmer throughout the rest of the day than I would if I started my day with looking at my phone. Because when you start your day with looking at your phone, you're literally starting your day looking at electronics, which stimulates cortisol, and then that sets the rest of the day as being in a place where your cortisol is spiked, right? And that's where your body's gonna stay. But if you start your day with not looking at your phone and you start your day with vagus nerve exercises instead, then that's going to train the body to start the day in this calm state of mind instead of in this chaotic cortisol spike that's going to continue for the rest of the day. So those are the ways that I'm healing my vagus nerve. So something you might want to be aware of is, how can you tell if you need vagus nerve healing? And the way you can tell if you need to heal your vagus nerve is that if you can't sit still in silence, like if the silence bothers you, if it's eerie to you, like if you just can't be in silence, that is a huge indicator that your vagus nerve is overstimulated. And another one is that if you need constant stimulation, like if you feel like you have to keep scrolling and you constantly need stimulation, that is alarm bells literally going off telling you that your vagus nerve needs healing, like pronto, like so much. And you know what is scary is that the fact that the majority of our civilization needs vagus nerve healing just because of how we live nowadays. Like, we have so much access to technology and social media that it's so easy to become overstimulated, and not very many people spend a lot of time slowing down, right? Most people are go, go, go instead of taking that time to rest, relax. That's why it is so important to have both. We need both. You can't be go, go, go if you don't have the rest and relaxation that your body needs. Otherwise, you're just gonna burn out and your vagus nerve is gonna become overstimulated, your body's gonna become exhausted, and you literally are gonna go into dorsal vagal shutdown. And let me tell you, that is not fun. When you are in a place where you are absolutely so tired to do anything, it is really awful, because literally doing absolutely anything, the smallest of tasks, is so tiring. So that's why I honestly advise, if you are in a place where you're constantly needing stimulation, please, 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 please start healing your vagus nerve, and your body will thank you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye!